I'm going to make a drawing of Taylor Swift, very famous singer, and I'm starting by sketching the eye. I'm using little hatches to create tonal values to define the eye. And you see that it's slowly coming along. Accentuations, tonal values, hatchings. An accentuation of some dark areas in the eye, in the iris of the eye. I should check if I can get my camera installed in such a way that it doesn't change from focusing. I want the eye, what I draw, I want to be sharp. Yeah. When the eye is formed mainly, I go to the rest of the drawing. The eyebrow now, I'm indicating the area around the eye. A few accentuations here and there. I want to make it as a kind of minimal drawing, so it's not a large drawing anyway. And when I try to determine where I put the other eye, the second eye that I'm drawing, it is interesting to think about the fact that between the eyes there's the distance of more or less another eye. So imagine that there are three eyes next to each other and you only paint the outer eyes. Here another eyebrow suggested. So I'm not drawing everything totally very detailed, but I'm suggesting more. And now the eyes have a certain expression, and I can do the nose. I'm measuring all the time where I put the nose. Well, all the time. I'm looking at where the outer ends of the nose is positioned under the eyes. I indicated the underside of the eye with some shadows. I will get back to that later. I'm putting some outlines now. I feel that in this stage everything has to be conquered, so to speak, so now I have to get that mouth drawn in a way that's more or less correct. So I'm measuring, I'm looking under which part of the eye, a corner of the mouth must be situated. The upper lip now. And I'm just adding scribbles and hatchings and suggesting a tonal value, a shadow or something. Now I'm shading her face a little bit. I give an indication of the shades of her face. I cannot say that she looks like Taylor Swift yet. Some indication of the hairs, very loosely. Yeah, I used a mechanical pencil, and I like mechanical pencils because I'm quite lazy and they are very convenient. But you cannot push hard on mechanical pencils because the graphite is thin and you can break it easily. And with a wooden pencil you have this sharpened point, and you can push harder on the paper with that. And now I'm working on the mouth, and I make it more three-dimensional, more defined by adding darker areas. And I go over some details. So now I have defined much of the face. I have positioned the mouth and the nose. Now I'm going back to certain details to finish them. Not really finishing them, but to work more on them. I think now that Taylor Swift is getting into this drawing, I get more. There's something about her eyes which is in the drawing now, which wasn't there 2 minutes ago. So I always get encouraged when I see that something of the person, something very typical is in the drawing, and I get that feeling now. Something with her eyes is typically Taylor Swift, and I cannot really define what it is, but it's now in there, and it wasn't there. I had to add shadows or darker values. Now I'm working on the overall structure of her face. Adding shadows. And yeah, just enough to define her features. So I'm not totally drawing all of her shadows and all of the details. You can draw a face with a lot of tonal values, but I'm indicating the structure of her face more or less with those shadows, like here. Adding the neck. And sometimes I change the pressure on the pencil and you get thicker lines, like now. She had a sort of haircut in which her hair was on her forehead. Hair is also important to give a certain atmosphere to a drawing. So on the one hand I put lines on the paper which go into the direction of the hairs, and then I also add a hatching like this in one direction. Yeah. If you put too much shadow in a certain detail, you have there's the danger that it's not consistent with the rest of the drawing. So if you put too much shadow in one detail, sometimes you have to work out the drawing like that all of a sudden. So what was supposed to be a minimalistic drawing becomes a very elaborate drawing then, if you follow that. So if you follow a certain consistency in what you do. So one has to be careful not to put too much shadow somewhere all of a sudden. Suggesting an earring. It's just a few lines, but it works, I think. Here I go over a few details. I look here and there. And I think I'm approaching the moment that I should stop with this drawing. When you make videos like this, you know, when a video is 11 minutes, you have the danger that a drawing was better at minute 7 or 8 than the end result. But I think it's okay for now. I had to add this extra accentuation of her jawline because I added these broad hatchings and her jawline had disappeared a bit because of that. going over the drawing here and there, a little bit of hatching extra. Little bit more definition in the nose. I'm not sure if I put too much definition in the nose on the left side especially. But anyway, nothing is perfect. When to stop? When do you stop? I think I shouldn't do much about it anymore. A few extra accentuations in their hair. Finished. Ta-da!